Okay, your most controversial dating take is women need to be more feminine and men need to be more masculine. I suppose that's controversial in 2022.
It's very controversial these days.
Very controversial. Does anyone have a response to her statement?
I love that statement.
I agree.
This is going to be a very, I think, agreeable panel. Is anybody going to disagree with her?
Brian, what's going on?
I kind of think you should do what you want, and if you're a woman or a man who wants to be in that position and be the stay-at-home mom and work as a dad, I think that's totally awesome. But if you don't want to do it, you definitely shouldn't, and everybody should get.
Nicholas Bailey super chatted $99.
Yo, Nick, thank you, man.
99 cents. Why no marriage?
We can touch on that. Here, why don't you finish your answer and then we'll...
Yeah, I just kind of think you should be able to do what you want. If you want to do that, then that's great. That's awesome. Do it. But if you want to, be a woman and have a career and not stay at home, you should also do that. Or if you want to have kids and also, you could do both.
Here's the thing with that, though. Women who tend to work in more masculine environments carry on a lot of masculine traits. So eventually you're going to want to get married. Eventually you're going to want to have a boyfriend. And you're going to be in your 30s married to a man who is very feminine, or he's going to be married to a woman who's very masculine, to where it won't work out. So, you're going to go to work, you're going to be busy with your career, and then you have kids, and then your kids don't see you because you're too busy at work rather than taking care of them at home. So the only way for you to have a good marriage or relationship with a man is to hold down what you're supposed to hold down, meaning you take care of the house, you take care of the kids. By all means, if you want to have a career and you can balance both, then go ahead. But it just means that while you're working in an environment that's very masculine, because most places that you work, they're owned by men. So the rules that you have to follow by are all made up by men, meaning you take on those masculine roles. And so when you go home, it's kind of harder for you to be more feminine in the household since you're so used to working in a masculine environment, and it kind of throws off the balance between you and your partner.
I think that you can be feminine while working in a masculine situation or job. Like the men that you should be working with.
Have you ever worked in a masculine environment?
We should probably define what a masculine environment is, because that's a very subjective phrase. So what does that mean?
Meaning that so if you work at a nail salon, right? It's women. You know, it's most of the time nail salons or hair salons are ran by women. You're surrounded by other women and feminine energy. So when you are a CEO or a boss of a company, you hold all of these masculine traits because you are a leader, and the job of a man is to, be the leader, be a problem solver. Girls go based off of emotions, while guys go based off of solving problems and, working things out, building things. And while you're working in a masculine environment, they teach you, do what you're told, things like this. When it comes to, like I said, the example with the nail salon, you work around women. All you hear is, family, kids, things like that. When you work for a man, it's very different.
I would include that. It should include a lot of, the environment should be high stakes. It's money, you're dealing with a lot of project like consulting or real estate. I had 3 bosses in their 40s. The guys who were buying $20 million shopping centers, and the intensity there is insane. People are literally making those deals every day, and you have to be on their level, and it's very hard to keep up with that level of responsibility. You have to be disciplined. You have to always know what is you have to do today and tomorrow. It's very there's no place for emotion. There's no place, oh, I'm not feeling good today, oh, I want to have a rest, oh, I have my period, blah blah blah. Nobody cares. They have millions of dollars being invested, and they're gonna not listen to you if you screw up. Even if you make a small mistake in an NDA, it's gonna cost you your job.
I feel like I grew up in an environment, I'm from New York, so I feel like I grew up in an environment where there are men and women in both, and I know women who are very successful and work for top brands like Macy's and Party City and things like that, and they're working with CEOs, and like I specifically know this one woman who's a very good mother, and she's very feminine, and she also is the breadwinner of her family. And
Is she married?
yes.
For how long?
They've been married. She's almost 50, and they've been married since I think she's about 23.
Well, in cases like that, majority of the time, I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm not saying it's not something you shouldn't do. But her being so high up like that obviously takes time away from her kids. So generally, traditionally, the man works and the woman takes care of the family. And he is supposed to support. When you have a woman who is out here doing things that men should be doing, it knocks off the balance, like I said, between the both, because it shouldn't be a competition between either two. Whether he works and she works, you both are taking time out of the home and away from the family and away from the kids. But it also depends on where you grew up. If you grew up with both your parents, if you grew up with your siblings, things like that, because obviously if you're a girl who grew up without a dad, you don't know what you're supposed to look for in a man, because your dad is supposed to be the supportive one for you. He's supposed to take care of the family. He's supposed to be the man of the house. He's supposed to be financially taking care of you and your mom and your sister. But if you grew up with no mom, then you don't have those feminine energies, I guess. Like, you don't know how to cook, how to clean, how to do anything like that, because you took on the role of being the mother to your siblings or anything like that. So I guess it really just depends, like your background, your family, and things like that.